This thing is like a tiny dick. I have been an engineer for about 7.5 years. I've worked with over 30 artists, 4 of which I've fully produced and engineered. I've been a touring musician for about 5 years of that at a professional level. I've been pretty much core for over 8 years. Well, let's just say don't ever make any bets while really drunk, because they come back to fuck you hard. And actually, in all seriousness, it was kind of, I was approached about it because of the experience I have. You know, it was really the first experiment with a band from Duluth to do an all special needs recording process and try to see how that works with kids that are mentally retarded. And it's worked out pretty well. You know, the Adderall has kicked in, and well, you know, if we can keep their hands out of their pants half the time and try to get them focused, we can get a record accomplished. So I think it's a feat for me to really work with special needs people and give them an opportunity to feel what it's like to be a real band.
Do you think in the eyes of the music community you look like you're doing a service, or is this kind of like do you consider yourself a hero for working with?
I'm a martyr at this point.
Yeah.
Working with cities, I've really put myself up on the cross.
Yeah.
It's been fun. The guys are fun. I think you, as a producer and an engineer, since you're wearing 2 hats, you have to worry about how they portray what they want to hear, what their favorite records sound like, and getting that out of all the members they have. But also as a producer, you know, not only getting the sounds that they want, but also giving them the songs that they want. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's a challenge. The Cities record is, I think it's just a good, straight, strong, straightforward pop punk record, but with much more to it. I think that in the songs you can literally hear the soundscape and the visual attributes of Duluth, the band and the location they're from. I think being an artist from a different location, I don't get to hear that in music very often, so it's like, you know, you can hear a Sigur Rós and understand, oh, they're from Sweden. Or you can hear, you know, like Terror and know that they're, you know, a hardcore band from the West Coast. I think with Cities, what I hear out of their music and what I hear out of the topics is the view from the top of the hill in Duluth looking out at, you know, the elevator bridge, or looking out at, you know, Canal Park. I feel that through the songs, more so than any other artist I've heard come out of it. I think We Won't Fall Apart is, or as of right now, the song that would hit me the most.
Okay.
Because it's the most diverse and it's also very catchy. Rio.
Both musically and personally.
Okay, musically, Rio is he's one of the more talented drummers I've ever worked with. He's very secure in what he's going to play. It's not a battle of inconsistencies with him. It's a battle of which one's better, because everything was really good. Every fill, every beat, every way he played it was constantly evolving into something better. So as a musician, he was really fun to record drums with and really easy to record drums with. Personally, he is, I think he is the embodiment of the movie Big with Tom Hanks. He's a little boy in a big man's body, and he's just a big dumb idiot. But you gotta love him. It's kind of like a pug, you know? It's just so messed up. You gotta love it.
If you could sum up Rio's week here or his time in Kansas City, what has he done? What are his
Jack shit. He sits out there and he plays PS3 until his mind melts. And then every now and then he'll stumble into the control room and say, "Man, that snare drum sounds awesome." That's about it. Hey, let me tell you about Grant Murray. Grant Murray is what I would like to refer to as a butthurt king. He's just constantly getting his butt hurt. He's calling me an a-hole, a jackass. You know, he's just mad because he wasn't talented enough to play guitar on this record. You know, and his hair gets in his way constantly. He's got this emo fag Hot Topic thing going on that he's just constantly brushing out of his face. Grant sucks. Fuck Grant. Grant can suck my balls. Fuck you. That guy. Fuck him. Joe. Joe kind of looks like a Muppet. I've determined that. He looks like a Jim Henson Muppet. He's a character all his own. As far as musically, Joe knows what he wants. He knows what he's looking for, and he has a voice that's different than a lot of the generic bands that are doing this type of record. And he tries to not overlap that stereotype with also trying to be so outside the box that it's just annoying. It's kind of a good blend of the two. Yeah, I would say his addition vocally really kind of shapes the sound, other than making it just another, insert band name here. So. Pat is the stunt double for the lead singer of 4 Years Strong. He has a really cool Frankenstein tattoo. He has IBS, and he's kind of an old crotchety man like myself, so we got to kind of take care of our thing. As far as musically, Pat is everybody writes, and I think the writing is done accumulatively, but I think Pat is I think he's the head of all the writing. I think when it comes down to it, Pat's the strong writer for the style of Cities Never Sleep. Not the strongest writer, period. I'm not throwing it out that he's better than any one person, but as far as Cities sound, Pat has it down as to where it's going to go and what it's going to do. And I think the combination of him having the vision and then having other people that understand that vision, everybody's shooting at the same target. So Pat's really good. His vocals, he's a really strong vocalist. He's definitely also another similar to the style that Cities is going for, but very different in the way he executes it.
Beautiful.
I think that as a producer, I understand what it's like to be a touring musician and to have the want to do this full time and to really understand what it's like when you've done everything you can in here and the circle is built and the trust is built, you just haven't written those songs yet. I think I understand what it takes to get outside that box. And I think a lot of producers, they care about their name on the record, they care about the quality of how the record sounds, which is what they're supposed to do, but I don't think they care about the circle widening. And, just because you don't understand how to write outside the box now, doesn't mean you can't help the band get outside that box so they can look back even further and increase that box. So you're at a point where thinking outside the box is so hard that you're writing perfect. Like Jimmy Eat World is a band like that. I think they've increased their box so far that they write inside the box because they just can't go any further. And if they do, they'll, I think it would just be too crazy. As a producer, I feel that I do that. I think all the bands I've worked with can agree with that. And I think that for who I am and where I'm at in the country, as far as Midwest producers go, I think that I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody. I'm not saying that you should come work with me. But if you're looking for a record that pushes you from where you're at and helps you build upon that, so you don't just have to come work with me all the time. I provide that, and I also provide it at a point where you're working with somebody who has toured, who's slept on couches, who's ate ramen for 3 months, who's had awesome shows and had terrible shows, who's made no money and who's made lots of money, because I've done it all, and I've done everything in between, and I'm just trying to be successful just like you. Where I think a lot of producers, they get this attitude that, oh, you're coming to me, you're working with me, which is the truth, but at the same time, it's like, well, what have you done? How have you toured? Do you understand what we're singing about? And I think I bring that to the table. And I know some other producers do, but as far as people in the Midwest, I don't think that there's another producer that I've met. Then there's probably some out there, but I haven't met any that offer that, or offer the common knowledge that a touring musician has.
Yeah.
I don't even know who he is. Jordan Schmidt Discount. Don't go to him. Come to me.
And I'll always be remembering when I felt your love.
I have a sweet